right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CBC Wizdumb Hour, number 180 for Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. I am Steve in New Orleans.
I'm Tony B coming to you from New Jersey. What's up? Episode 180.
Let's actually see if that's what your name is. All right, now, already,
You're frozen.
This is not cooperating with me.
You're frozen.
I'm
and
frozen.
Your audio's garbled. You're frozen. All I see is
How we just started the show. All right, I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
Am I back? No.
You're back.
Are you kidding me?
Episode 180.
Right.
Tony
My
B coming to you
computer's been
live
acting-
from New Jersey.
I was going to say, let's see if that's actually your name here.
Yes.
Tony Big Time.
Tony Big Time.
Yeah, that's close enough. Tony B.
TB. TB.
All right. All right, as long as I'm not frozen, if you're coming in here live, come on in and say hello. Tell us where you're from. We are broadcasting live on the Cover Band Central Facebook page, in the Cover Band Central Facebook group, and on the Cover Band Central YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to. There is a link in the description. Click that link and hit subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we're going live. There's a ton of stuff
Ding,
in
ding,
there.
ding.
Yes. Christine's the first one to say, coming to you from New Jersey, New York. She is in both states at once.
Boston. Yes.
I wonder if she's in New Jersey, but she's just saying that because most people don't know Jersey.
Maybe she's standing on the border with 1 foot in each.
1 foot in each. She might be doing that. Would that be like the Hudson River, though?
Yeah, but it could also be like on this side of the river if you go up to like Rockland County or you go up
It could be.
you know, like up by roads, you know.
Mary's in Ohio. Dad's in
Single
Victimville, California. And he's got
Victimville.
a butthead avatar.
Excellent.
Have you seen the new Beavis and Butthead?
I have not.
It's pretty good. The new movie is really good. Charles Ray's in
I have not.
Texas. We're doing great, Charles. Thanks for stopping
Excellent.
by.
Charles, what's up?
Oh boy, they're coming in like crazy. Kathy's in Dallas.
Yeah, no anomalies tonight, Stevie boy.
Right. Jay's in the heart of Illinois.
Floodgates have opened.
Pam's in Chicago.
Chi-town.
Calvin's in Virginia. Purchell in New Britain, Connecticut. Deb's in Australia. She says good day. It's probably Wednesday over there.
Good day.
And Kyle got the notification. Martinez.
Yes.
Ricardo. He was here last week.
Yeah, he was.
So yeah, no anomalies
He's in.
today. Hank's in Maryland.
That's good.
Cool. Thank you guys all for joining. We appreciate it each and every week when you come in here, and we love the interaction. We love you asking questions and adding comments and stuff.
Absolutely.
Definitely questions, because that gives us material to talk about during the hour. But we're going to start, as we always do, with latest news in our lives and
Latest news.
in the cover bits. I need a little theme for that. So I announced it yesterday on the page, in the group, on my personal Facebook page. I talked about it last week, Tony, but I'm telling you for the first time, for real, that the Cover Band Central page has now hit and surpassed 500,000 followers. Yes.
Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. Half a million followers.
500,000 followers plus now on the Cover Band Central Facebook page. I can't be more excited about it. It is thrilling that I started this whole thing with zero.
Yeah.
And have grown it organically over the last 8 years for the page. And it's really something. And I always envisioned this, Tony, as being something for millions of people. So we're not there yet. But
we're halfway there, Steve. We're halfway there.
Yeah, we're living on a prayer. I don't know. But yeah, it's really cool.
Better than working on the docks, Steve.
Thank you, Deborah. Congratulations. And as a token, as a gift, if you'd like, you can give stars to this Cover Band Central. If you're watching on the page, the Facebook page, you can give stars. It's a digital gift to give to us. We do this all for free. We do it every week, and we do everything else for Cover Band Central for free. So if you like what you hear and you see and you read and stuff, you can give back a little gift with stars. One star.
I thought you were going to say when you were gifting, like, we're going to give away 500,000 T-shirts to the first 500,000 people that dial right now.
Hey, see, you joke, but that's coming soon. the kind of contests, giveaways. I had something today happen, so there's going to be something soon, I believe.
Cover Band Central swag and giveaways and contests.
Yes.
Make sure you guys are in there.
Got
Don't
thumbs
wanna
up
miss
from
out on
Hank.
that.
Congratulations from Deborah. Thank you. I think she might have already said
Awesome.
that.
Yes, she
Just said,
did.
how did you do that? I did it with a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of thousands and thousands of hours of time
10,000 hours of your time
put
in the past
into
7 years. Yes.
growing it. And I can teach you. What's up,
Yeah.
Karen? I can teach you how to do it. I actually can, and that's something I should really start doing is offering a way for people to take some sort of class from me or something where I can show you how to grow your following because I know how to do it.
Absolutely.
And I can show you no matter what you have,
As evidenced by
but
the
it's-
500,000 people.
especially for musicians, I could show you.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Steve.
so-
Indeed.
So that's something I'll have in the future. Mary said she didn't know doesn't know how she found us, but she's glad she did. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate you hanging out.
No, Mary, there's no coincidences in life, right? So you're
Right.
meant to be here.
You can give a star, said Facebook user. 1 star equals 1 cent. So,
One for one.
if you want to throw in a little bit more than that, that would help. That helps.
1,000 stars is pennies, mere pennies.
Jess said she'd love to learn. So I might put something together, Jess.
Very
I might
cool.
do it soon. And like I said, Purgil said, make that money. Yes.
Yes. Yes, you have
Roggy Norton.
nice days,
Good morning.
too.
Have nice days.
Yeah.
So that's my big Cover Band Central news.
That's big news, Steve. I mean, I can remember when it was 100,000.
This is great.
You know?
Michael said, I can't get this off my screen. What the hell? You're stuck with us. I don't know.
See, now you've shh, don't tell anybody. Once you enter into the Wisdom Hour podcast, your computer locks you in.
That's it. You're stuck.
Facebook's been paid in very clandestine ways to lock you into your computer. Now you can't get out. You got to restart. You may even have to do an update.
No, then
You're gonna
you
wake up tomorrow. We're gonna be like this.
you walk away and you get on your
Still
phone
here.
and there, you walk away and you get on your phone and there we are.
You got, hello? Hey, man, it's Cover Band Central. What's going on? Wisdom Hour. Tony here. Hangs up on me. Go to your screensaver. Still here.
Right. Then he smashes his phone on the ground and stomps it and then punches it, throws the computer down, and then he walks outside and then
And
you were standing right there.
Yeah.
Yes. Thomas just felt like shouting Judas Priest. So
Yes.
cool. I love
Some
Judas
good
Priest.
priest today on Ozzy's Boneyard.
Right. Jess said you're stuck in the Matrix. You're stuck in the CBC Matrix. Hey, sorry. What was his name? Michael.
There.
Sorry.
Yeah, Michael.
Sorry, Michael. But
You're
hey,
trapped now.
stick around. Maybe you'll enjoy something.
You know,
You never
you
know.
just have to go with the flow sometimes, right? If you're stuck here, there must be a reason of why you're stuck here. There must be some kind of information you need to glean from this interaction
Right.
that has directed you and kept you here.
Yes.
So instead of trying to escape, just enjoy.
Join in. Yeah. Michael, tell us something about yourself. Where are you
Comment.
from?
Yes.
What's on your mind today? What do you do?
Yes.
As
Seriously.
musically, what kind of band are you in? Somebody
you-
has some questions.
Yeah, what are you
Because-
currently struggling with? What are you guys struggling with out
What are you
there?
struggling with?
You know,
That's
as
good.
far as your musical endeavors.
Right. Rockner's watching from the Philippines. I bet you Michael figured out a way to get it off his screen.
And now he's
But
bailed.
but he
He's
had
exiting
to
as quickly as
he had to but he took the time to say I can't get this off my screen.
right, because he was hoping that someone was going to direct him to technical support to help him.
Right. So if anybody can help Michael Anthony Taylor get it off his screen.
The
then-
Cover Band Central IT department is kind of overloaded right now. We got 500,000 requests to get this off the screen, so
I know it's so
it's going to take a little while.
It's we're
You'll
swamped.
be
I mean,
okay.
500,000 people, followers. It's a big load of traffic to take on.
That's a big picnic, man.
For the IT department.
Yeah. But nonetheless, we'll try to see what we can do.
I don't know if this is a question. This is more of a statement, but it could be a question. Getting
No,
gigs as
that
an
was what he said.
original
What are
band.
you struggling with? So he's struggling with getting gigs
Oh.
as an original band.
All right, Tony, you're probably better suited to help him with that than I am.
Oh yeah, I feel your pain, man. I mean, I played an original band for over 20 years, and highs and lows, man. Sometimes you have, barely any gigs, sometimes you have tons of gigs. It's all about the networking. It's all about having your product, right? Having a viable product that you need to find an audience for, right? Because cover bands are kind of the same way, right? Certain cover bands have certain niches and they develop certain followings based on the type of music or the style of music that they play, right? It's attractive to people. At least up here in North, right? There could be 100 bands, but they have 100 different followings. Some
Right.
people commingle, and there's definitely a crowd, a musician crowd that supports each other and goes out and sees other people play, and they come to see us play. But for an original band, and like I said, we did it, back before the internet. I mean, if you can imagine that, right? I mean, and we used to just, make calls, advertise. It also depends on the demographic of the age group that you're targeting, right? Because let's face it, it's like if you're depending on the kind of gigs you're trying to get and the type of music that you're playing as an original band, you got to find that niche of who you're marketing to so that you can get those people out to the gigs, right? Like when we were young
Yeah.
and playing in the band, we're 22, 23 years old and we're an original band and we got, 200 of our friends that are a rabid following because they've been with us on the journey of writing the album and then playing it to death and then doing listening parties and then playing a couple of showcase shows or whatever, and now you're out and it's like I can bring people to that gig.
Ooh,
And let's
wow.
face it, the club owner is going to want to understand from an original band perspective how many people are you bringing, right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a very focused and specific thing that
Yeah.
you're pursuing, right? It's not a cover band. You might see 20 genres of music. If you're an original band, you're going to have your catalog of music, which is probably in a similar vein. So the key is to find the niche of that, right? And especially today with the,
Okay.
internet and advertising. So that I think is the key, and
Yeah.
persistence just to try to convince people to give you a chance to come play.
Yeah. And he's Purcell. I think that's how we say his name. He spelled it out here. And he's in Connecticut. And he said his first single, they have Corey Glover from Living Color sing with them, which is pretty awesome because Corey Glover's an incredible singer.
Yeah, Corey Glover's great.
So, I mean, it really depends. You have to sort of have a game plan for what you're looking to achieve. Would be my advice. You say you want to play gigs. How many do you want to play? How far are you willing to travel? Does it matter if you make money? Are you willing to put money into it? Can you put money into it? And ask those questions to yourself first, so you can formulate a plan based on that information.
And leverage
You know?
that Corey Glover's,
Yeah, that's what I was going to
singing on
get
the
to.
yeah,
Like,
right, because
if
he's got contacts, right? It's not like he's your neighbor and he said, "Oh, I'll sing on your album," and we're going to try to make it work. He definitely has connections. He's been in the industry,
yeah,
for decades.
yeah, so you
Um,
could get like one of your goals could be like we want to open for some national acts, and he's in Connecticut, so there's probably some places in Connecticut where national acts go through. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know where exactly he is in Connecticut, but you're close to New York too, so you could get plenty of national acts come through New York and have opening bands. So yeah, definitely, like Tony said, leverage the fact that you know Corey Glover and that he worked on a song with you,
yeah.
and get some contacts from him, and you got to hustle. You got to just make phone calls, send emails, get out into clubs, talk to people. But again, it depends on what is it you want to do. Do you want to play a gig here and there and maybe try to sell some of your merch, or I mean, have a specific plan. That's always my advice for anybody going into something that they want to achieve. Like, you really need to know where you're going if you want
You
to
need
get there.
clarity.
Yeah, you need clarity. You need to know exactly what it is you want to do. So if you just have something vague and random, like, oh, we just want to get gigs, okay, that's not good. That's going to leave everything a little too hazy and fuzzy. Like, you don't have direction from that.
Yeah, you need direction. You need some flexibility, right, along the way as things change and your plan may need to be adapted to the
Hmm.
situation or the opportunity. And then, like you said, you try to leverage some of Corey's contacts, unless he was just a paid, player on the album. You need to understand the relationship there. But if that's the case, that's one foot in the door for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So
and
yeah.
also the quality of that single, right?
What's
Because you could
up?
have Robert Plant be your front man, and if the song's not that great, or it doesn't appeal to the audience you're targeting, right? Then you have to pivot and try something else with that.
Right.
You know,
Time Machine's here, says hello, boys.
it's happening.
So he said, I'd love to make this my job. So
Yeah.
then, okay. So that's specific. So that means you got to make a certain amount of money, know how much that money, how
Right.
much that is, like know what you
But
need. Do you need
treat it
30?
like a job too, though. You
Right.
know.
Get up every day and work
Right.
on it.
Exactly. You know.
Get your social media game together if you don't have it already. Make sure you have a website. I would recommend Bandzoogle too, and I have the
Hmm.
link up here too for it. Because we're partners with Bandzoogle, so I would recommend going to coverbandcentral.com/Bandzoogle. 30-day free trial. Get yourself a real quality website for musicians. They design it for musicians. If you don't have one already, you need that. If you want to make this your job for real, then you need to be all pro all around. You need to have a good Facebook page, Instagram account, all the social stuff, and you need to be active with it, with posting content. Have merch, definitely merch available for people, and get your hopefully your song is on all the streaming sites, and promote that. Make videos on YouTube. Those are all things you could do even without gigs.
Yeah.
You could do
Absolutely.
all that from your home. So getting a gig is a good goal to have, or getting gigs is a good goal to have too, because playing live is nothing like it else.
But all the things you just said, Steve, will bolster that. Like you
Yeah,
need all those things to be able to, to get the gigs, right? Because
yeah,
this way you have some things. Hey, check out our website. Go here. Check. Here's something you can listen to. If you just say, hey, I want to get some gigs. I'm an original band. The first question they're going to ask you is, what kind of music do you play, right? What do you have a sample of something? How can I check you out? You know.
this is a good point from a venue owner here. Facebook user says, as a small venue owner, we need more small venues to support local and cover bands. Please, bands, bring merchandise. Yeah, everybody, if you're out there playing on any regular basis, or if you just have a whole thing that you're doing, have merch available for
Yeah,
fans, because people like buying T-shirts. People like buying hats. They like buying
they do.
stickers, whatever. Merch is a tough thing. He said, I'm all over the place. He meant to say merch there. Merch. Yeah, I mean, do your research, dude. Just find bands that are selling merch that you like, and find out how they sell it. And that's easy enough to do. Just click on it and see where they sell it from. And it could be Shopify, it could be Amazon, it could be Zazzle, or one of those
But that's
merch.
the beauty, Steve, right? It's not like the old days where you have to go buy 100 T-shirts, right? Bring them to the gigs, hope
Right,
you can
right,
sell them, that sort of thing. I mean, if you need merch for the gigs, you will need to have stuff in hand, right? In several sizes. So
right,
again, I think you kind of have to gauge what your merch is, so you don't have 1,000 hats, and at the end of the year you've sold 5.
right.
You know what I mean?
That happened to us as kids, sure.
Yeah.
Uh, Merch T-shirt at Staples for $10, says Facebook user.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, I like lists. I'm a big fan of lists, because I think I get much more done when I write things down and prioritize them and put them in like a schedule, an actual time schedule.
Well, it keeps you organized for sure.
So I always recommend, write all your thoughts down. Start with your goals. Just write your specific goals. Don't think about it too much. Just grab a piece of paper and a pen and just start writing. What do I really want to achieve out of this? I want 100 gigs a year. I want 10 gigs a year. I want to play in every state. I want to travel abroad. Whatever it is, and don't censor yourself either. Just write it down, and then that way you could start kind of formulating a plan from there.
But Steve, what's the single most important thing that he needs to be successful? And this is a little quiz. Like you'll say to me, "Hey, there's the 5 things that people have called in today that said it's
Right.
important." But what do you think? I know what the answer is because I'm going to say it afterwards, but I want to ask you first.
Okay.
What do you think the one single thing is that he needs to possess to be able to be successful?
Um,
And
I can only pick
think of
one
the way I
thing.
worded it. Think of the way I worded it. Yes. What is
Right.
the one single thing he needs to possess to be successful?
Uh, Boy, I can't pick one single thing. I could think of a lot of things. Confidence, drive, determination, tenacity.
Only one, Steve. Only one, and the clock's ticking.
Uh,
Time's up.
I
Answer,
would
please.
I would say belief in himself. Is that right?
Partially correct.
Oh wow, I got
Yes,
it right.
I would say exactly that. You need a positive attitude and a mindset of success, and be determined no matter what obstacles you come up against.
No, Sanford, no.
Yeah, don't don't be deterred. That might be costly. Marilyn Manson already did that too. So,
Um,
but yeah, if you have a positive attitude, cheerful, friendly, embrace the opportunities, embrace the challenges, learn from the mistakes, keep going forward with a positive attitude, onwards and upwards. Face adversity with a smile.
that is good. Yes, absolutely. And you will have adversity.
Oh, you definitely will. It will definitely be a difficult journey, but try to enjoy the journey. Fans,
Cody said you need fans.
you do.
Yeah, and Jess is calling you out. She said that's more than one thing. It is more than one thing.
Well, then I will say the only one single thing you need to possess is a positive attitude.
All right.
That is the single most positive thing I can tell you.
Okay. Ricky Rock said marketing, and he also said a good single.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Purcell said own my songs. So I guess he doesn't own his songs.
No, but that's an important thing too.
Yeah.
In an original band, make sure you have the copyrights, and like you said, you have the rights
Maybe
to your music.
it looks like he's a singer, so maybe he's just singing on the band's songs, but he wants to play a lot of gigs. And I mean, I don't know your whole story, Purcell, but you're on a cover band page here, so you can go out and play covers too, and work in some originals while you're playing the covers. And that's what a lot of bands do. A lot of bands have done it for decades.
Yeah.
Going back to the Beatles, and they went out and played covers and then put their originals in. And
But for at least a 10-year stretch, Steve, I can remember when we were playing all original, we played strictly all original. And maybe we played like maybe
but you're
one
talking about
cover, like
like
one
the late
cover.
'80s, right?
Yeah, like late 80s into mid 90s, like almost up to 2000. So I would say, yeah, let's say 88 through 2000.
Okay.
Right? It's a good 10, 12-year stretch right there.
Yeah. I mean, the scene is just
Throw a
different
cover in.
now.
But yeah, it would ebb and flow. Like for a while, for 4 or 5 years, it was all original bands, right? And you remember the days of like Cricket
Oh,
Club
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Bruins Cafe and all these places that used to have bands that
Yeah.
were strictly, Studio One, right? It was all original music, and there was a scene, there was a good following.
And there was a cover once in a while.
And then
by
4 or 5
somebody,
years
yeah.
later, the tide turned, and all of a sudden it became all cover bands with an original here or there. you
Yeah.
know?
And
then
that's that's what
and then we had to adapt the alter ego where we became a cover band called Mr. Personality, and we played all songs in the genre of our original music, and then we put our original music into those sets. Like secretly, we
Right.
didn't say to anybody, hey, this is an original. We would just
Right.
play it
Right.
and then see if, not every gig, but most of the time people come and say, hey, what was that song you guys opened the second set with? Who's that by?
right.
Oh, funny you should ask. That's our original.
Right.
We have a merch table over here. You can buy a CD, you could buy swag, you could buy a hat, you could buy a shirt.
Yeah. But he did say he does own the songs, so that's good.
a writer.
So he
That's
has
really good.
publishing.
Yep.
And seriously, what do covers that sound like our songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do covers. Yeah, so keep it in the same genre, and
But it's tough, Steve, because if you're an original band, you kind of don't want to do a bunch of covers and then some of your originals too. It's more, I don't know, I think there's a fine line sometimes where if you really believe in your product that you're going to do it and you can get the gigs, you try to play your music, all your originals.
yeah,
Even if it's only one set worth of music,
yeah, and I get it. Some people that are songwriters, they want their songs to be heard, so you should.
Absolutely. Well, listen, like you said, there's plenty of other avenues you can get them out there. It's great
yeah.
to play live, but there's, 100 other ways to get it out into the world.
Yeah. All right, so different topic, different question. Jess said, "What do I need at minimum to start a home studio to make my own beats for demos in hopes of getting picked up?" You don't really need much these days, Jess. Because you can, if you have a Mac
Garage
computer,
band.
get GarageBand, and you could do a ton with GarageBand.
Yeah.
Using real instruments or programming drums in there. If you
Yep.
just need beats, that's it. It doesn't cost you anything if you have a
I'm
Mac.
not sure about that.
Oh, she's not sure about that. It might cost you something.
It's not going to cost you anything.
No, but for sure, GarageBand is an easy to use platform. It's robust enough to create music on for sure. You can definitely put a bunch of tracks in there, and you can
Yeah,
plug your own instruments into it, like you said,
yeah.
and you can play live stuff along with the beats.
You're welcome,
Herschel,
person.
good luck, man.
You're welcome.
Check back in with us. Let us know how you're making out too.
Yeah.
Interested to see how that progresses for sure.
Deborah loves the question about the home studio. Anybody can do it these days. Technology has come so far in what you can do. Like things that we used to have to buy hardware for, big bulky hardware for, you can get on this thing.
Well, it's funny you say that, Steve. So I'll just opine by saying this: that GarageBand on your phone or iPad is great, right? And it's a watered down version of the whatchamacallit. Um, bear with me one second here. What am I looking for? Logic Pro.
Yeah.
So Logic Pro, which is real robust, right? And that's a real studio tool. For drums, that's what I had to do. I had to buy a Scarlett interface with an Octopre, which just gives me the inputs to be able to mic up the multiple drums behind me, get them into my computer. But if you're a singer-songwriter, not necessarily a drummer, and you don't need to record, a dozen tracks of drums, then it's a great platform because you can plug your guitar right into the phone, right? You can do a million things with it. You can program the beats, you can sing, you can, like you said, you can, for demos, I mean, it's very, very easy to use, very user friendly. And like you said, it costs nothing, because you're going to spend probably $5,000 to build a home studio. If you buy all the gear and the equipment and the
Yeah.
interface and the snake and cables and everything else that goes with it.
Yeah, if that's something you want to do too, but you would want to do that more if you're recording lots of people.
Yeah.
Not just to
Correct.
make your own beats. You don't need to make that much of an investment.
No.
Just get a program. I think even if you have Windows, you can get GarageBand now.
Yep.
So do that and let us know, Jess, how that goes.
And that's easy too because you can save your song files,
I don't have all the lines I need to make an intricate beat. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I think GarageBand you have unlimited tracks, but in Logic Pro, which is the studio software that is on your desktop that goes in conjunction with other things, you can have, endless tracks. You can put as many tracks as you want.
Yeah, and I don't know how intricate you need to get. I mean, you're not talking like you're going to do Santana kind of
No, but you
two
could
drummers
layer
and
a track of drums, you could layer a track of percussion, and then you
right.
could lay another shaker if you wanted to click, and then
Yeah,
you could put, 4 or 5 tracks of vocals on that. You could put some bass, you could put acoustic guitar,
yeah,
electric guitar, keyboards. I mean, it's all there. You can actually play all those instruments in the actual app on your phone too, if you don't want to play them live.
exactly.
But you can
Yeah,
certainly record. I mean, my son Cole does it all the time. He's got 50
right.
songs probably, and they're all in GarageBand.
So interface. I don't know what Deborah's. I'm hoping to buy a sound card slash interface kind of system. Any tips welcome. Not sure what she means.
So I think I know. So a good interface is like that Scarlett. I
The
have the
Scarlett's great. Yeah, the
I have the
two I
Scarlett.
two.
Yeah, I have the
That's the
actually the 18.
Focusrite. Yeah.
Yeah, Focusrite Scarlett. I have the 18i20, correct. And then I
Okay.
have, but they make them small. You can get them, 2 inputs up to 8.
Yeah.
But
Right.
an interface like that, and then some kind of software that goes in your computer, and like Logic Pro, and you connect it together, and now you have as many inputs as you need to buy. So if you
Yeah.
were to buy, let's say, a Scarlett interface with 6 inputs in it, you can input up to 6 people at the same time. If it's just you and you play all your own instruments, you play bass, you play guitar, you sing, you can, You could program a drum beat in, not in Logic Pro. You can't. GarageBand has that capability. Logic Pro is simply an interface of which you can record and capture whatever you're inputting into it, but it doesn't
Right.
have any built-in instruments or drum sounds or
Right.
anything
But
like
whereas
that.
GarageBand does, yeah.
Does, but you can certainly write stuff on GarageBand and then import it right into your
Right.
Logic Pro, and then you have those tracks. But then again, if you had only a 2-input interface, you could plug your vocal mic in and your guitar, and you could sing and play at the same time, although you'd have a little bit of bleed. But if you really wanted to isolate it, you could sing, you could lay down your tracks, you could put some vocals on top of it. You could build it, right? You could set your drum track, then you could play your bass line, you could play your guitar line, you could play your keyboard line, you can record them all individually on their own tracks, you can adjust the volume, all kinds of other stuff. Logic has plugins. Yeah, Steve's right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff out there, but just do your research. But that seems to be the most user-friendly one because, at least in my experience, Logic Pro is very intuitive. It has a lot of help features. It walks you through a lot of things. There's a button you can turn on. So every time you move your mouse and your pointer to an item, a yellow window pops up and tells you what that icon is and what it does. And if you click on it, it tells you all about it. So, and then you can turn that off if once you know how to use it and you don't want to be annoyed by that. But for a beginner, it's great because it gives you all the insight as to what the functions are. And it's not very intimidating like Pro Tools or something else that's got a different platform.
Right.
I know Cubase used to be another big one for guys that were doing a lot of rap and production in that means. But Logic Pro seems to be, like I said, it's like GarageBand on steroids. GarageBand was taken from that and watered down to make it iPhone friendly.
Right. Oops, that's not what I was.
Yeah.
Dale said, do you guys even like each other?
We don't like each other at all, but I love him.
I don't know why.
My brother.
I don't know why she would say that. Does it feel like? Does it seem like we're at odds with each other here?
She doesn't realize we're in the same room. We're just on other sides of the wall. It's all a hoax.
All right. So Steven asked, did you guys work out a date with Rich? And what he's referring to is he hooked me up, and we had a text thread with Rich, the drummer from Jason Aldean's band.
Yes, Rich Redmond.
Yeah, and he seemed gung ho about coming on the show with us.
Yes.
And I said, I told him when we do it Tuesday nights, 8:00 Eastern, and he said that wasn't good for him. And I said, well, that time any weekday would be fine. And he said he'd get back to me, and I haven't heard back, so I need to follow up with him and
see what he says
and see what the deal is. But he seemed excited to come on. I think he's out on the road now, though. I think that they're actually here in New Orleans. Yeah, all right. Steven just said it. Yeah, they'll be in New Orleans Saturday. So
there you go. So Steve, you should go to the show and track him down and be like, "Cover
Hey!
Central, man, 500,000, members right here. Let me backstage. Got to talk to Rich. He's getting on the show next week."
Yeah, like what do you got in this arena?
And they'll be
20,000?
like,
20,000?
Security, remove this man immediately.
I got 500,000. No, I won't be going to the show because I'll be playing
There you go.
Saturday.
We all have our duties in life to
You said duty.
take. Yes.
But Steven's, yeah, I know, Steve, you're going to be here, so definitely come say hi. He's going to be playing right across the street from me at Fat Cats.
Cool.
And I'm at Bourbon Bandstand. On anybody's curious about that, too, I play it on Bourbon Street, New Orleans, at a club called Bourbon Bandstand on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon from 2 o'clock to 6:15.
And I'll be at Famous Door next Friday from 9 to midnight.
Really? Wow. Okay.
No, I just wanted to feel like I was part of the Bourbon Street convo.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing tomorrow night, believe it or not.
Nice.
6 to 9 outdoors. Some of the last outdoor gigs of the season, Steve.
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yeah. But the outdoor
That's a
gigs
shame,
are coming to
because
an end
the
because
fall-
the weather is coming. I mean, but listen, we had a great gig last Friday. The weather couldn't have been better. It was like mid 60s, beautiful night out, great crowd. It's just awesome. So I'm hoping that tomorrow night is more of the same. It's a big car show, outdoor thing. So there should be a lot of people there.
Nice. That's odd. Right in the middle of the week. Smack dab in the middle of the week.
They do it every Wednesday. Car show and bands.
Okay. And a band? Okay.
Yeah, at this place called Blue Arrow Farm. It's a big outdoor gazebo, open air place. Sound, sound guy, sound system. Nice. Be fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, be a good time.
So I did put a topic in here which we haven't got to yet, and we'll get to it now, I suppose.
Yes, we
Because
should.
other people can perhaps chime in and relate their stories.
Yeah, bring it
And
on. What do you got?
so the topic I put.
Hurry up, Steve. I'm starting to like you less.
Wait, I have to answer John's question first. He said, "Is New Orleans like Nashville with how bands work for the most part?" Yes, for the most part. Although I have not been to Nashville, I have heard that it's similar. So, I have to get to Nashville though. Belinda said, "Sounds great." So I played this weekend, as I mentioned, at Bandstand, and better than the previous weekend with regards to people in town, because there was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers football game with the Saints at the Dome. So some people from Florida were in town. So, it's better crowd wise. Again, dealt with there was a lot of people in the room and only one bartender at one point, but it didn't last as long as the last time.
Not your problem, Steve.
Right. But the biggest issue of the weekend, how do I put this delicately? I mean, I put in the subject here. Let me see if I can retrieve
Is it personnel related again?
Yes.
How did I?
So that's a delicate thing to talk about publicly here. But I have to do it. I got to be honest.
Say it quietly. Maybe they won't hear.
No, that's not going to help anything. I got to be honest with the viewers and the listeners.
Because the Wisdom Hour is all about honesty and just, peeling back the layers of the onion of reality.
Exactly. So one of the band members is somebody I've worked with previously, and what I put in the topic was, how do you deal with crazy? And
Cray?
Crazy. And I said, of course musicians, all of us, were a little bit not normal, but when somebody's off the charts not normal, how do you deal with it? So this person seems to have a psychological affliction.
Disconnect of some sort?
Yes, and I don't know what it is. I'm not authorized to diagnose this, but the symptoms are talking out loud to people that aren't there. That's one of them. Like at a high volume.
But Steve, I do that every week. When I'm like, Pete, turn down that volume and get Johnny on that.
You're doing it for comedy.
I'm talking to my crew over here that, may or may not be here depending on the night. So I want people to understand I do have people that help behind the scenes here, but they're not always here. So sometimes I have to pretend like they're here, but they're really not.
Sanford said, "You hope crazy isn't the big talent," and that is absolutely true.
Sometimes crazy is the big talent in the
Right.
band. That's a whole different, course to navigate.
Yeah, but the day, and it was Saturday, started with this person arriving late. Not late to where we were going to start late, but late compared to when he should have been there to set up and get everything together. The first sign was yelling top of his lungs at the sound man to get his instrument in the monitor when
the sound man wasn't even there yet.
No, the sound man was there, but it was his fault that there wasn't anything in the monitor yet. Not the sound man's fault.
Right.
But he yelled and cursed at the top.
Plug in your instrument and then we'll talk.
Something like that. But yelled and cursed at the top of his lungs to the sound man. And I mean, he talks out loud, has conversations while in the middle of a song.
Did you ask him if he's okay?
No. I'm afraid to talk to him.
Well, that would be the first thing that would come to my mind if all of a sudden he was like having these outbursts. I'd be like, dude, are you okay? Like, do you need a moment? Or
yeah, but I've been around this guy enough.
Oh, so you've experienced
I've experienced this already, but this was high level. Like it was on high alert. Something, throwing fists on stage in the air, just throwing punches at nobody, but acting like you're punching somebody.
You mean like, she took the midnight train going, like that?
Kind of, yeah.
Huh.
But not while singing. Just like almost
after
like
the song, like, he's just like,
And then, yeah, just the whole day talking out loud, having conversations with people that aren't there.
Maybe he was pre-gaming before he got there.
What?
Maybe he was pre-gaming before he got there.
I don't know what that means.
Pre-game, having cocktails, getting ready for the gig. Maybe he was getting
No,
tuned
this
up,
is not
a little overboard.
this is not a drunken or drugged thing. This is a psychological condition that this person deals with.
Then you will need to decide if you're going to continue to play music with him, Steve.
Well, no, the decision was made, and no, he was asked to pack up his shit and go.
After the gig or during?
After the gig.
And
But
what was his
it's
reaction?
not.
What was his reaction to that?
I don't know. I wasn't there, but
Wow.
it seems like sort of a split personality, multiple personality situation going on because it just acts like I don't understand at all.
Dude, mental illness is a real thing, and he
Oh yeah,
may be struggling with that,
I
some form of that, and he's just not, seeking help.
yes.
You know,
Yes, and does he do drugs or drink? Frank asks, and he doesn't drink. If he does, he doesn't drink all that much. And drugs, I don't know. I know he does the liquid THC stuff. That's all I know.
everybody reacts differently, Steve. Maybe he does liquid THC, and it does something to him that makes him not be able to control himself, or maybe it's bringing on some other sort of induced problem.
But it's so bad, Tony, that everybody in the club, all the people that work there, were concerned, and they were talking about it, and like they're the manager of the
That's a
club,
serious issue, then,
and
Steve.
then the general manager of all
Yeah.
the clubs. We were all talking about it on break, what to do, and he was let go after the gig, but then called me that night or the next night and left me a message and asked, what my thoughts were and my perspective was, and I didn't call him back because I don't know what to say, and I don't really have any interest in getting into.
Are you
crazy.
friends with him?
No, not really. No.
You just know him from a couple of gigs playing with him?
Yeah, I'm more than a couple, but yeah,
I mean, I would, you could call him back and just say,
I don't want to call him.
"Hey, man,
I don't feel
regardless
like,
of what happened, I'm concerned for you, and I hope that you find the help that you need."
but I don't think he even realizes that he needs help. He doesn't. I don't think he even understands that what he did.
So
Like,
maybe
because I see him, I see it happen, like in his eyes, because he was standing right next to me to my left, and I call the show. So sometimes, and the way I call the show is I tell the person who is starting the next song what the next song is. If it's the guitar intro, all I do is tell the guitar player. Keyboard intro, I tell him. So I was telling him, and he's there like throwing his fists in the air, and then I look at him and I tell him the next song, and just his expression completely changes, and he like he's zapping out of some alternate reality back into this reality, and he just change and like, oh, okay, and then starts so
maybe he's disconnected during those episodes, and that's why he's so confused as to why he was let go, because maybe he doesn't even understand what he did.
yeah, but I don't. It's not my place to explain it. I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like because I don't know what it is, and it is awkward. Like Belinda said, it's a very uncomfortable situation to be in on stage. Trying to.
Do you think you'll play with him again?
I thought I wouldn't because this happened before.
But that's
a
what I
couple
mean.
years
So
ago.
you may see him 2 years from now. You may say, "Hey, I got this gig, Steve. I need a fill," and you're like, "Okay, cool." And you get there, and he's there.
That's certainly possible.
You know.
But so there's no bad blood about it. I just don't. I don't want to talk to him at all. Like I don't have anything that I feel like I could say to him that would be productive for him. And I certainly don't need it.
Steve. And that's your right. You don't need to talk to him. You don't want to.
Right? I certainly don't need that. And like Eric said, Eric works on Bourbon Street. Not my problem. Everybody's expected to be pros at this level, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
When we're on Bourbon Street, New Orleans, one of the biggest music cities in the world, we're getting paid well to play music, and you're expected to come and do your job and be a pro and not be a freaking
But
lunatic.
it is sad to see people when they're debilitated by mental illness, and their wellness is not right.
Yeah.
You know?
Sanford said record them, show them. I wouldn't be on stage with someone like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was standing right next to him, and I was keeping my distance as far as I could. I was like tucked into Jason's. Like I'm next to his. I'm like as close to Jason as I could get without getting hit by a stick.
Well, he wasn't being aggressive towards anyone in the band.
No, he was being. Yes, he was. I mean, he didn't make any contact, but showing serious aggression on stage.
But like, if you turned to him and was like, "Hey, guy, you got to start the next song," he would like, would he be like, "Oh yeah, is that what you think?"
No. He would snap out of whatever that was and come
Like,
back
okay.
to being on stage.
Maybe he gets into like his stage persona. You know?
It's more than that, dude. It's nuts. It's crazy. Something.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that about somebody.
No,
If-
but again,
unless I really-
sounds like he's struggling, and we should say a prayer for him and hope that he gets the help he
Yeah.
needs.
And Frank said, I'm a singer, not a psychiatrist. That,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
True that.
Yeah. And he probably needs help.
Hey, listen,
like
man. We all know it.
said
Being in
before,
this
yeah,
world of musicians, yeah, he definitely needs help for sure. But you're always going to meet people, especially in this industry, that are just a little different.
And a lot different, even.
That's what I mean. But there's always, there's a
But
good
there's a
mix.
fine line, I
There's
suppose,
a good
between
mix of people.
different and in need of medical attention.
Yes, because people can be crazy on stage, but could be part of the act, or they just act that way, but it's not in a threatening manner or an uncontrolled, like you said, like a diversion. You know what I mean? They're present to what they're doing.
Right. And he is not.
Correct.
Monica said, hopefully he gets the help he needs and lives his full potential. And that's
Yeah.
the thing is, he really is a very good musician. He's a keyboard player and he's very good. And you could see this aggression in his playing. I mean, see and hear it. Like at certain points during the day, he was cranked up so friggin' loud. And he was just as aggressively as he could be playing that keyboard was playing it. And it came out as like, wow, this sounds great. But it's violent, and like there was a point where it was just going voo, 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 like just for a whole minute. That didn't really add the context to the song. And I mean, just like off the charts, man. Like,
Hey, just another experience, Steve, that you get to have you get to share here on the Wisdom Hour, and this is what people tune in for, right?
we appreciate it, Frank. Like you said, love
Yeah.
and gratitude. Appreciate the combo.
Awesome. Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely always a brand new experience playing live. That is one of the reasons I like playing live because.
But like you said too, your energy on stage definitely translates to how your music comes across, right? Because if you're playing drums like you're at a rehearsal studio and you have to keep it down and you're still playing with conviction and authority, but you're playing very quietly, it's going to come across much differently than if you're fully engaged in the moment and playing like at full ferocity,
Right. I mean, like Frank said, psychedelics last 8 to 12 hours. Who knows? Maybe he is taking psychedelics. I don't know. But it's not my job to figure it out.
No,
Like,
it's not. And bottom line is, like you said, everyone's a professional at that level. And if you want a professional gig, you have to act professional. And that's what separates the professionals from the amateurs. you
Yeah.
know? And you could be the greatest player that's out there. But if you have these, challenges and you don't get along with people, or you don't, you have certain personality traits that don't fit in with the band you're in, you're going to find yourself jumping around to a lot of different bands, or you're going to find your talent really not appreciated, even though you are the best of the best out there, because those other things will definitely diminish the whole package, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's, what are you going to do?
Listen, we should just be blessed and be completely have gratitude that we are of a mindset where we do pursue what we do with passion and enthusiasm, and we work at it to get better, and we try to bring our best self to every performance, and that's what it's really all about. And if other guys are not doing that, then it needs to be addressed.
Yes. And also grateful that we have enough self-awareness to know when we're screwing up or how we're affecting other people.
Yeah, but I just mean stability, right? Like mental stability,
Yeah.
right? Like those are things, if you have a true mental illness, it's not something that you can be in control of.
Right.
If you're abusing substances that create you to act like that or cause you to be different, then again, you need the self-awareness to say, I probably shouldn't be doing that.
Right. But sometimes, yeah, with certain psychological conditions, you're not you don't have the ability to be aware of it.
Yeah, or maybe he's on medication for these psychological conditions, and it affects him in those ways.
Maybe he's on medication, or maybe
Just don't
he's
know.
not on medication that he should
Right,
be.
it should be. So
Either
listen, whenever
way,
something's going on with somebody, you know that there's something else going on behind the scenes.
right. So yeah, but he was removed, and then Sunday we played without keyboards, and it was fine. And we can do this gig without keyboards. I prefer having a keyboard player because it opens up the song list more, but we can do this gig without it. So that's what we're doing moving forward, though. But we have a great singer. This guy Matt is there every day for us now. It's a real blessing that we found this guy. He is an incredible singer, just a fantastic voice and a super nice guy. Total high energy. He's younger.
Sure.
And he's got a lot of energy.
So you'll find a keyboard guy to
And
replace him. You'll
well,
find
I think we're going to do without it for now. It's
Really?
better. It's better
Okay.
without it. If we put it out there, if that's something we really want, but right now it's not. So that's what we're going to do. But I was talking about last week that I was going to do a double.
Yeah. Oh, that's
for
right.
during the
How'd
day
that
and
work
the
out?
night. But I didn't. It wasn't that Friday. It's this Friday.
So this Friday you're going to try to break the record and do 11 sets.
11 set. I believe so. Yeah, 5 during the day and then 6 at night. So
Yeah.
11 sets this Friday, and then I'll have to get up and do another 5 on Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon.
But you know what,
But
dude?
I,
If you're having fun and you're in it, I mean, so many times we find like I'll come off the stage after a set and it'd be like the time check, hour and 40 minutes set. Like, wow, I didn't think it was that long. Like
yeah, it'll fly
you're
by. I'll have fun. It'll
in it and
be
having fun. Yeah, you don't realize that, like, wow, the 3 hours went by already.
yeah, it'll be Friday night, so it'll be busy. And I do like this time of year. Like I said last week, I like playing with new bands that I haven't played with before. I have played with this drummer once before, but nobody else in the band really I've played with ever. I did get their song list. I was very grateful. I asked just yesterday, do you have a song list you could send me? Immediately sent me a song list that was organized, color coded in like a nice spreadsheet with who sings what. And I like, oh, thank God somebody's doing this right.
Yeah.
Has all their stuff together. And I scanned through all the songs, and I know 98% of them already. So I don't really have to do any prep work for it. And it's just about the stamina of the day, of being on my feet that long. And
Yeah,
it's
you'll
the
be fine.
feet, Tony,
Get a little stool,
and the
get a little
back.
bar stool to
My
put
feet, my
off to the
back.
side. You can kind of lean back on it, and you're frozen again, Steve. You're like this. I can sit back. I move back. I
Right.
have to stand the whole time. I'm frozen like
Yeah.
Steve right now.
I see. That's a great face that I was frozen on.
Now you're
Am I still
frozen like
frozen?
this.
Yeah, I am.
Now you sound like this. Like, am I still frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely have some kind of frozen something going on with Steve here. Oh, there you're back now. You see?
Yeah. Those were some great faces I was frozen on.
And you're frozen again with another good one, but you're back now. Albania, Fred
Fred's in
Hosna.
Albania.
Yeah,
Uh,
coming to
I
you
don't know what this
live.
means.
See, I used to like when
Jimbo.
when we had no video and we could say we were coming to you from wherever we wanted to pretend like we were coming from.
We did do that, but at that point we didn't have an interactive audience though.
No, we didn't. It was
That
just
were
us
coming.
collaborating stuff. That's right.
They were
Coming back
coming
at us.
from those different places. Like,
Awesome.
all right, so let's see. What time we got?
So I'm
No,
gigging tomorrow. You're gigging Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday is Sunday. So Friday I got the double, and Saturday, Sunday, and next
Nice.
month I'll be up in Jersey. I think I told you already, and hopefully we can, you and I can get together.
Coming up for a visit.
Yes, and a lot of cool stuff. Again, 500,000 followers on the Cover Band Central Facebook page. I'm thrilled about that. Thank you guys
Yeah, it's
all who are part of this whole community. If you are on the page, and if you're not, it's Facebook.com/Coverband Central. I will. I like that. Donna said I'll be known as Superset Steve.
Yes.
I love
Triple
alliteration.
S. Triple S.
Superset Steve. I'm gonna call myself that. Said Jersey. Did I lose a bet? I'm from Jersey, Steve. Stop it. I'm gonna get some pizza, some bagels, some more pizza,
Yeah, there you go.
and a tail of ham and cheese every day.
When are you coming up again?
Mid-October, October
Cool.
19th, I think.
Okay. Nice.
Yes. And then driving back down to New Orleans with my buddy.
Nice.
He's from Pennsylvania. Just saying I lost a bet. Jersey. Pennsylvania's a big state. I love Pennsylvania, though.
Pensy.
Thanks, Deborah was here for the whole thing. She said, enjoy the stars. Thank you for the stars and congrats again.
Awesome.
Even
Thanks,
Tony.
Deborah.
Yeah, the stars she's talking about is you can give a digital gift to Cover Band Central. If you're watching on the Cover Band Central Facebook page, stars are a way to give back a little gift. We do this all for free, so we appreciate that. And where's my information about that?
Much
It's
appreciated. Yeah,
it's just
free.
give stars. Give stars. Like the We're Stars
Yeah.
with Dio and we could do
Yes.
that. I'll see you Friday, Steve. That's cool.
Give stars.
There you go.
Cool deal.
Yeah, that was okay. Also, Dave's a newbie to the group. Dave White.
What's up, Dave White? Welcome.
He's in the group, I guess. There is the Cover Band Central
Sure is.
Facebook group, the Cover Band Central Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. There is a link in the description. Click that link and subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can grow that one big. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Jess is 20 minutes west of Philly. PAA is fun, I guess.
Yeah. You know.
It's a big state. I've had some good times in Philadelphia, or in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
I think like anywhere, Steve, it depends where you live in Pennsylvania.
It does.
You know, will kind of dictate your experience or your perspective of the place, you know?
Stephen, 500,000 get a prize. I would have given a prize to the 500,000th follower if I was able to determine who that was. But I have
Right.
no way to be able
Of
to
knowing
determine who that was. So, no. And I didn't have a prize ready. Anyway.
No prize.
So
It was
good.
given away last week, Stephen. You must have missed that.
Yeah. So, good thing. Did I talk about the website yet? No.
No, you didn't. Let's hear about it. Steve.
CoverBandCentral.com is the source for everything Cover Band Central. You can sign up for a profile for free for you, your band, or both. It is free. And a lot
Free,
more
free, free.
activity going on the website lately. People are posting every day, which I'm very excited
Tons of
about.
traffic. Traffic Central.
It's a website just like laid out just like Facebook, so there's really no learning curve. You can post on the wall, you can join groups, and you can make friends. You can read articles that are on there, mostly written by me. You can check out the meme gallery, and you can
Most importantly, you can tune in for wisdom.
tune in for
Get
CBC
knowledge.
Wizdumb Hour once a week every
Every week for
Tuesday.
180 episodes. I mean, if you got nothing to do, you got 180 hours you want to burn, go back to episode 1.
What does a profile do? Whatever you want it to do, Jess. Whatever you want it to do.
It's another platform, Jess, for you to
It's just a way for you to get there and get out there.
and get your music out there to 500,000 fellow musicians that can share it as well.
Right. Was there anything else I missed, Tony? YouTube, stars, website. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Rock on. We'll see you next week.
Uh-oh. You see you next week.
Yeah.